something from the Creator. I didn't believe in Allah at that time. I had no idea about Islam. Islam is maybe the only religion that was never presented to me.
But let's go back again when you was a teen in Canada.
Oh, well, I felt much like a prisoner, even though the environment was beautiful. We had trees, we had grass, we had little kittens even. We had a fountain, we had a beautiful wooden house, 2 levels. We would have therapy in these very beautiful, elaborate rooms, very rich, very lush, very luxurious. It was like a vacation spot. Like many of the parents, they would come and visit their children who were there, like me. My mom would come and visit, and she would say, wow, this is just like a vacation. And it's hard for me to understand what they meant, but I know what they meant. They were looking at the material things, and I wasn't. Something else was lacking. I had material things before, and I still felt empty. I was still searching. After Connecticut, immediately I left out of I was doing some bad things there, and I wasn't following the program, so I felt like I couldn't face myself there anymore, so I left the program and everybody who was trying to help me there. And I took up a job waitressing, and in the first week I met my trainer, and he became my first serious boyfriend for the next 2 years, almost exactly 2 years. At first I felt madly in love with him because I thought that was it. He was my life. He was the one. But in the end, it was all empty because our relationship, it was based, for me, it was probably based in money and in him being a man, but not in anything else. I didn't search for him, and I wish I had, because I felt like he really is a good person, but I missed that. I didn't know what I was looking for. I was still looking for material things. I was still looking for the money and the drugs we were doing and his status in terms of like his friends and because he was older than me, and so he was a supervisor in different restaurants and he was a manager in different restaurants, and I loved him for that and not for his soul or his heart and I miss that to this day. It's a sad thing that I missed out on, but God willing, it led me to other things, and it's made me a stronger person, I think. After the relationship didn't work out, so many things happened during the relationship. Like, I got pregnant, and then I couldn't keep the baby because I was insecure at the time. I mean, I probably could have. If I had more faith, I think I could have kept the baby in reality. My mom would have backed me up. My dad definitely would have backed me up. But I was so alone at that time. I lost everything. I lost all my family. I lost all my friends. I didn't talk to anyone because I was, I think, ashamed and guilty for all the sins that I was committing, and I didn't admit that to myself or anyone for 2 years, and that's how I got myself into that mess for 2 years. And I think I put him in kind of like a hellfire as well, along with myself. And so I came from nothing. I shaved my head, and he said, "That's it, you're done," and I was done. And so we were living in a different state, and my mother, she was called up by his family because we were living with his family in a different state. They were called up, and my mom was called up, and she came to get me, and I was so pathetic. I was lying on the floor with just very thin clothes on. I was in pieces. I had no hair. I'd shaved all my hair off, and I was lost. I didn't know what was going on with my life. I didn't know where I was going or how I would have to repay for all my sins. It was at first I thought I found ecstasy, but I thought I'd found heaven, but in the end, it wasn't it. It wasn't real. It was all pretty much based on, lies and naivete and insecurity and emptiness in the end. I still felt empty. So after that, my mother, she came and saved me from that situation. We went back to her house in Queens, New York, where I've been living ever since. This has been about 1 year and 3 months since I was rescued from that experience. I went to Queens College. It's a city university of New York. And there I just took classes. You know, the first semester I took 3 classes because I couldn't handle anymore. And the second semester I was taking 5 classes. I thought, okay, you can challenge yourself a little bit more. I was still seeing like a psychiatrist, and he was giving me meds, like lots of meds. Ever since I've been back from out of state, from my ex-boyfriend, I've been taking like psychotropic medications to help with my mood because I was hospitalized like 3 or 4 times, weeks at a time, you know, because the doctors felt like I needed like help. They didn't know how to help me. And you know, in the American society, you know, when you're institutionalized, that's what they do. They force meds on you, and that's what I've had to deal with ever since. And I'm still taking my medication to this day, although I'm trying to take less of it because I feel stronger than before. At Queens College, I was still searching for love and for purpose, and why I keep going on in life. You know, things are just like what they are: jobs, money, people. But in the end, like, material things just left me so empty inside. A friend invited me to a Muslim sister area inside Queens College. It was like in the student union, and she introduced me to her friends there, and we would just sit around, we would talk, like, and soon after that she said there's a teacher who used to teach here, who used to speak for us, and pretty much she was saying, like, I was touched by what he was saying, and he's really wise, and he's a really good teacher, like, you could learn from him, because she felt I was lost. She knew I was lost and I was searching for something. So I met this brother Ahmed, and his wife Amira, and they were really kind to me. They showed me like sincerity. They showed me real. They showed me like real, not fake people behavior. Like, it was